What's good, folks? Your boy TriLLG. Alright, we're gonna keep this video pretty simple. I'm listening to this video by Deleted. He's saying he's sick of Tory Lanez. Let's go straight through it. Because at the end of the day, from what I was watching so far, he's capping. He's off his rockers, and he's just literally creating content for clicks. I don't know if Deleted has lost his edge, so without focusing on mainstream topics, he can't actually get the hype. But shit, might as well jump on his wave. If he's gonna hype off of BS, then let me hype off of his BS and sun him. We're gonna play his video back at like double the speed, so we're not like wasting time listening. But
Lanez is an annoying bug that just won't get the fuck out our ear. This man has been locked up since December 2022 and has made sure to stay in some sort of controversy, whether it's riding the internet's conspiracy wave of blaming Rock Nation for why he decided to crash out on a female and have little man.
So he's saying that he's blaming Rock Nation for why he crashed out. That's not even an accurate assessment, but yeah, go ahead.
Complex to joining forces with Drake behind bars and throw subs on a DDG track, which was honestly fire, by the way. He did gas that track. I'll give him that. That track was clean. I ain't gonna hold it. It was fire. Tory has recently
At least you give him some flowers, because you can't say that Tory's not a good artist. You know what I mean?
He stated that Drake's legal battle with UMG is to start a revolution. And he says, yeah.
And wait till we realize that it's actually a revolution that's going to start from this. This is the first time that an artist has been this large in terms of their brand, because he was already MJ status when he started his career. If you understand numbers, the fact that Apple approached him to say, yo, we need you. Without you, we can't launch this whole digital platform of streaming music. So please, we'll give you your bag up front. Who else was getting those kind of situations within our community? No one, right?
He didn't diss Kendrick Lamar on the DDG song, but he wishes he was in Drake's shoes to battle Kendrick Lamar.
Nah, I would just say it like straight up, like, look, here's the reality, bro. I come to compete. When it comes to my craft, I'm getting.
I'm not gonna lie, it's nothing about the beginning part of the video that I really care about to critique.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. A whole ass witness testified and said they seen Tory and Kelsey with the yapper. They seen it from Tory and Kelsey. The witness would go on to say that they all jumped Meg on the ground, jumped her, beat her up, and then dragged her to the car. This same witness.
So he's right here quoting that the witness said that these guys beat up Meg.
Testified and said,
but let's listen to the actual
quote. Kelly, do you know why you're here? He said, absolutely. The defense attorney put up a picture of the back of his home. You can see a driveway. They had him draw a square where the SUV was parked. It was right on the curb of the back of his house. Meg the Stallion and Kelsey, the two females, he didn't identify them by name, got out of the car and they were engaged in a fight. It was violent. It was quite aggressive. It started with arguing that woke him up in the middle of the night. Where his house is, two women fighting. He watched the whole thing while standing on his balcony. As he looked down on a fight that he described as quite violent, he then saw the larger gentleman, this is presumably the security guard Quan, come and violently try to separate them. Eventually, all four were both involved in what he called an aggressive, everyone fighting, essentially just a melee, a free-for-all between four people in the middle of the night, right outside of his back window. He said at one point he saw one woman go back towards into the car. At that point, he saw a muzzle flash.
So you proceeded to put this clip here where the lawyer is explaining the witness's testimony to say that Kelsey went into the whip to get the gun. But you proceeded to skip that in your assessment and only speak about what this lawyer happens to say to be the final sentence of this entire spiel. But let's keep
listening. He
listening.
said there was a man, and after the first few shots from the woman came off, he saw the man getting involved with the woman, and more shots went off.
So he didn't even say that Tory had the gun. He said the woman went and got the gun, shots went off. Tory got into it with the woman, and more shots went off.
Cross-examination, the prosecutor asked him, did you see the man shoot? He said, yes, I saw the short.
Okay, so here we go. So here it says that the man saw Tory shoot, but we don't have the context of that because he didn't explain that in his earlier piece. So listen to what the lawyer says next.
Man with a gun shooting violently in the air at least 5 times. Okay, wait, what? That's not what you just testified. Then the defense attorney went back and asked him, I thought you said you saw the woman.
Wait, listen, let me slow it down, because I feel like, folks, when it comes to common sense, it's not common no more. The sense is not common. So let me slow it down for all the idiot them. Okay?
The prosecutor asked him, did you see the man shoot? He said, yes, I saw the shorter man with the gun shooting violently in the air at least 5 times.
Okay. So, first context. He said he saw him shoot. Fair. Because he didn't say he saw him shoot earlier, right? So either he's telling a chronological story of girl gets gun, shoots, Tory approaches her, more shots, then Tory has the gun, more shots. But listen to how he exactly explains Tory's possession of the gun. And we're still on the fence if Tory ever really had possession of the gun like that, because the DNA evidence showed no residue, right? No, inconclusive. But literally, actually, originally showed no residue, or that he has no DNA. His DNA wasn't on the gun.
Okay, wait, what? That's not what you just testified. Okay, wait, what? That's not what you just testified.
If the lawyer can say that, why can deleted not say that? What's wrong with deleted?
Then the defense attorney went back and asked him, I thought you said you saw the woman and then you saw the man shoot. And he's like, yeah, you have to understand, it was just a crazy free-for-all and it all happened very quickly. And then he said the most shocking thing that has come out in this case, which is that after the shots went off, one woman crawled further away, that the three people then went over there and beat her violently while she was on the ground. They picked her up. They looked like they were going to drag her and throw her into the river. Instead, they dragged her across the street, put her in the car, and drove off.
With the witness's testimony almost matching Kelsey's, the original testimony.
Almost matching Kelsey's. That's what with the witness testimony almost which testimony? Which testimony, bro? Which testimony of Kelsey's does it match? Does it almost match? Because it doesn't match anybody's testimony. And the fact that the lawyer said the most shocking, because that didn't happen. Bro, that don't make no sense. Why would the same three of them now go and beat up someone who's shot? Maybe she's drunk, still acting belligerent, and they're trying to calm her down and say, yo, let's go. Like, we just let off beer. We just let off beer things in the end. Like, we gotta leave. We can't stay here. We're celebrities. And Meg is probably still like, leave me alone, guys. Right? But I don't think they were still fighting after Tory, by the witness's own account, put the gun in the air and shot. He's clearly trying to calm things down. Anytime we see that, anytime we see people put the gun in the air and shoot, what is that to do? To get people to calm down. Yo, everybody stop. Pop, 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 pop. Doesn't really matter. It's they call it warning shot, right? But why would he need to do a warning shot after Kelsey's already been letting off shots, according to the witness's testimony? But deleted, he doesn't want to go down those things. He's picking and choosing, because we can see he part of the beast.
Cops months before the trial would start, but then all of a sudden decided to randomly not say shit.
I opened up my door, which...
Wait, let's hear that point.
And throw her into the river.
Kelsey would tell the cops months before the trial would start, but then all of a sudden decided to randomly not say shit.
I opened up my door, which I'm behind Megan. No, sir. Do you know you hear a gun?
Okay, so he's picking at the fact that Kelsey switched up to not wanting to speak. Bruh, we're saying she's the shooter. Of course she doesn't want to speak. She's guilty. Like, I don't think, I think when folks is having debates against points they don't agree with, they lose the common sense of the point they don't agree with just so that they can argue ignorance. And I don't think that's an accurate way we should be moving in our world. It doesn't really matter what you think or don't think about anything, if you agree or don't agree, regardless of a topic. You should always try to assess and attack it with common sense, with like straightforward common sense. Don't try and ignore points that add to their side because it's going to take away from your side. Maybe the truth still lies somewhere in the middle. And through assessing and being accurate, you're still able to reveal something that maybe the masses didn't catch. Because I'm not going to lie, later on he plays the phone call and it made me want to go back and listen to the phone call. But I realized because he edited it. Let's get to it, actually. For this part, we already know Kelsey's a liar. She needed immunity to testify. Why does she need immunity if she's a victim too? It's straightforward common sense.
Take that part. Fair warning, I'm about to crash out. So if you guys need a fast.
See, then deleted's like, yo, fair warning, I'm about to crash out. I'm like, bro, so what have you been doing for the past 8 minutes? This guy, I'm like 8 minutes into his video and he's like, yo, warning, I'm about to crash out. I'm like, what? So you have, then he
Well,
proceeds.
minus the part that she got the gun as well. Of course, she left that part out, but you know, she didn't say that part.
He proceeds to admit that, okay, Chelsea had the gun as well, right? So we have to reach 8 minutes into the video. Right before you crash out, you're like, okay, well, I actually agree that there could potentially be another alternative story, but fuck that. I'm gonna crash out.
Fast forward this part, I feel you, but I feel like yapping today, I feel like ranting today, so we gonna crash out. We don't crash out enough on here. We're gonna crash out. This man called Kelsey immediately, apologizing. Immediately. She answers his call.
See, his crash out starts with a lie. This man called Kelsey immediately, apologized immediately. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He called and he's like, yo, how are you? Where are you at? You in the hospital still? Where y'all at? That was the beginning of the call. And the most effed up thing is, he plays the beginning of the automated portion of the call to make you think that's how the call actually starts.
And accepts it. He apologizes to her.
This is a call from
Tory?
These guys are evil. I'm realizing, yo, I'm not gonna lie, Black Americans who are of the higher status, like Black Americans who's low status, y'all getting caught in the sauce. But like the Black Americans who are the higher status, the classism conversation, they don't really give a fuck about other Black people. I swear, as soon as the Black people reach a certain level in the United States specifically, this is United Station culture, because they're getting it from their Caucasian populace, from the caucus. They're getting it from the caucus, okay? That as soon as they reach up to a certain echelon, it's all fair play. Any man can get it. Meanwhile, they're still gonna in our face do this. In our face say, yo, I'm for this, I'm for that. Not saying that Deleted is trying to say he's that. I don't even know if he's really Black. I don't even know what Deleted is at the end of the day. But he's here trying to get at my culture, our guys, my peoples, my fams, in a sense, too. Because Tory's leaving my little bro. Off of the fact that what? He thinks it's a conspiracy that Jay-Z wouldn't try and protect his assets? You don't think Jay-Z, a billionaire, not protecting his assets at the highest level, at the highest whatever levels necessary? After the man makes albums called American Gangster and whatever, you don't think he's willing to go where others aren't willing to go? But let's keep listening.
Never ever gonna talk to me ever again, but bro, I just want you to know, bro. I was just so fucking drunk, nigga. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on, bro.
So you guys, he edits it and goes straight to the point, which was like almost really the last part of the call. If you listen to the actual call, the part that he puts up at the beginning to say, yo, Tory straight went to this part. No, they were having a conversation trying to figure out. He's literally trying to soften up the fact that she's realizing that, yo, he's been dealing with her and Megan. But at the same time, this is probably his only direct resource within the situation so it doesn't blow up. Because remember, they're still trying to keep it hush-hush. They don't want this to go to TMZ and whatever. So he's contacting Meg's assistant, the only person who he knows is not going to just blab about the situation. And because he's in the vulnerable situation, he's in jail. He's in jail. He calls her saying, yo, technically I need a favor. But you can't just be like, yo, I need a favor. Get in touch with my driver, Quan, and get him to get me out. Get him to figure out bail. Probably because we realized that the rest of the team didn't really know that Tory, Meg and Tory were out such and such, right? These things were revealed after. So probably Tory didn't want Jay Fresco and the rest of the people in One Umbrella to know that he was in jail right now. He's trying to get out before the rest of his team knows and clowns him for it or whatever the case may be. Same for Meg. Her team is trying to hush everything, get everything. But they're realizing, dang, this stuff is already on the internet. People already see this. People's already talking about it. So there's actually no way for us to just clean it up. And the thing is, Deleted makes reference to the Rihanna Chris Brown situation. And we're going to wait till he reference it, but it's hilarious that he would why would you even reference that? Like, He also says that Tory decides to use a domestic violence situation to say, I won't snitch. What? It's his lawyer. The lawyer who ditched him to go and produce the legal drama Reasonable Doubt. Ooh, what a coincidence. The title of the show is called Reasonable Doubt. That the lawyer, Tory's lawyer, who ditched him after telling him, hey, don't go up on stand, basically setting up Tory's case to be a perfect open shut case for the prosecutors, ditches him and goes to produce a show off of the title of Jay-Z's album. And it's called that because of the Jay-Z album, because it's affiliated to Rock Nation. It's a show produced by the same team. It's a Jay-Z show. Meg Thee Stallion's Jay-Z's artist, Rock Nation. It's not a conspiracy. This is just like 2 + 2 = 4. The fact that the word conspiracy theory was invented by United Stations to try and detract from folks who are telling the truth just plays itself out every day in real life. Because there's never a time where we talk about conspiracies. As soon as you say conspiracy, you're a conspiracy theorist, which goes to the connotation of it being a conspiracy in the first place versus it being truth, and you're talking about how folks conspired against you. It's not a conspiracy. They conspired against me. They realized that, oh dang, Meg is in a bad situation, and the only way we can get her out of it is to scapegoat Tory. That's the only way. And it's perfect. He has gun charges already, or he's not allowed to be whatever, have possession of a gun in the first place. So perfect. Let's line him. But why would Tory be rolling around with a bodyguard, with a driver bodyguard, but have the need to have a gun on him? You're not thinking about that. The man is paying for someone to play that role, but he needs to have it on him, and he's an R&B singer, rapper from Canada. He has no street polys in anywhere in the States for him to say like, yo, I got to roll with this. And he's in LA where there's all the street gangs and whatever. So if he was really political, like, he wouldn't live in LA. He would have been moved out of LA if it was that situation. He's in the streets and whatever. No, he's an R&B, pop, hip hop artist. He wants to make exploits from music. He doesn't care about trying to be gangster. That's part of the brand. That's just image for you young folks to tap in and be like, yo, he's cool. But you think Tory's really like, yo, I need to hurt women and da-da-da with a toolie, and then now, like, you guys is not thinking straight. Let's keep this
I don't
going.
even know what the fuck is going on, bro. Like, that ass nigga. I never do some shit like that, bro. Just the nigga is so fucking...
So he has to butter her up. Why? Because he's asking her to go find Quan, the driver, and get him bail. You think she's going to do that just off of the strength of, oh, you're in jail, let me help you? No, he has to be like, yo, I'm so sorry. Like, I was drunk. Like everything that happened, the words I was saying, everything I was doing, like, that was not really me. I would have never been going on like that, so that she can soften up. Are you guys mad? Do you understand that they had that whole argument because of their sexual relations? Are you guys taking that out of context? Are we forgetting that? Oh, they were just arguing for argument's sake. No, they're arguing because he has sex with both of them. And Meg was lying about that fact the entire time. The entire time. There was a bunch of things they were trying to hide to keep her brand in a specific image, because clearly the label must have been worrying to say, yo, even though she's we still gotta keep her good girlish. Like Rihanna was a good girl gone bad, so she still had a good girl in her. But if we realize Meg is just all bad girl, it's gonna ruin that those brand partnerships with the cover girl and the whatever, and she still has to have the good energy in there. We can't know that she's just, oh, having sex with midgets like Tory. That's how they're preing it, not me. I ain't saying this. This is people saying this online. I shouldn't have said it like that. My bad, Tory. But I'm saying they're not looking at it the right way. They're not rating it. They're not saying like, yo, that's Tay Diggs or whatever his name is. a big sex symbol for black women and stuff. So it's okay if she dates him. It's gonna just bring up her stock. No, especially when the story's coming out that he was flirting with Kylie and that's what got these other two girls jealous. It's just not gonna look good. Oh, two black women getting upstaged by Kylie. These are just the elephants in the room, whether you want to agree with me or not. These are the subliminals that are being passed through when you hear the story just playing from the media, playing from a news article. You just read it and you just like, oh, they were at Kylie's house. Boom, boom. They got in an argument. Tory was in the pool. Da da da. They were all asked to leave. Like, these are facts. They were all asked to leave. Da da da. Tory wasn't gonna leave. So meaning they were asked to leave. The girls were sent out. Tory was gonna chill and stay dolo with them, with Kylie. He won. He was like, yo, I was rocking with you, and I was rocking with you, but I'm not rocking with neither of you, and now I'm rocking with her. And I'm quarantine radio. I'm the biggest guy. It's COVID times, like woody woo. I'm about to win. I'm just tapped into the Kardashian family. They're the ultimate hype community. It's like I'm about to be hype. My career is about to, you know what I mean? So probably in Meg's head, she's like, what the heck? This guy just played me. He just used my assistant to get to me, to use me to get to this. Who knows? I'm just saying. You can't just assume that, oh, because he's apologizing profusely, that means he's guilty for shooting Meg. Let's keep it going.
You got just understand what the fuck is going on, bro. Like, whatever. Yeah. But, regardless, that's not gonna make anything right, and that's not gonna make my actions right, bro. But I'm just be sorry, bro. Never move like that, bro. Like, never move like that at all, bro.
I would never move like that.
There's a lot that happens.
So you can say, oh, dang, does that mean he was moving in a way where it's like, yo, I'm gonna... No. He probably was just moving out of pocket to get them pissed off at each other. He was poking buttons and saying things out of pocket where he normally wouldn't say these things, which got them as girls, as friends, fighting each other. To the point where the homegirl want to take out you guys gotta think about it, man. Like, just really think about it. Just really, like, you guys are just thinking about it from, like, the tropes. You know, black man trope and black woman trope and this trope. Forget the tropes. Just think about humans. Humanity, like being a human being, okay? We know men like to sow our oats. You know what I'm saying? And we know that this new era of women do not like men sowing their oats, but they want to behave like men too. So you'll have a Meg who has her best friend, and every single time her best friend is dating someone, she finds herself with that guy. She finds herself flirting with that guy, talking to that guy. And that was Kelsey's issue. Chelsea or whatever her name is, that was her big beef. It's like, hey, I'm here trying to break bread and help you grow. I'm your assistant, so I'm helping you grow every day, doing this for you, doing that for you, doing this for you. And it's like, now I'm just trying to do things for me, and you tapping in and taking over and making that for you too? Yo, because they're drunk. And girls already kind of like don't really think straightforward. There's furtherance to this point that they can't be agents in a situation. They could only be objects to be forced upon or use force and stuff like that. That's how deleted and all these guys is talking about women. Like, yo, I don't want to.
A whole lot, bro. Like, a whole lot, bro. I feel crazy, bro. But
let's keep it going.
Y'all here, tell them what happened.
Yeah.
If they were even an ounce of guilty, you think he's gonna call and apologize to her, or do you think he's gonna have some type of feeling about it? Like, why am I locked up and you ain't? You better go over there and tell him what happened. Come on now, think logical.
So Deleted really thinks logically Tory is gonna be behind bars saying, "Yo, you go tell them that you shot him and I'm innocent. What do you think? What do you think this is?" What? 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 In what reality? I'm locked behind bars. You guys is free. I asked where you guys is at. Oh, y'all both free? Wait. It's already weird. They've already singled me out of everyone. Wait, my driver's not in the bin? Wait, you're not in the bin? And what, Meg's in the hospital like she's hurt for real? God damn. They're already singling me out. Cause why aren't you in the bin too? Why am my driver in the bin? Why is it just me? Yo, get me bail. And obviously he can't just be like, yo, get me bail. So you have to be like, yo, I'm so sorry for whatever, everything. Because at the end of the day, if you're having an argument with somebody and you disagree with them, but you want them to help you in a certain moment, you have to figure out how to cross that bridge. How do you cross a bridge where you and someone disagree about an event, a situation? It doesn't really matter what you think. They're in the power seat. What do? Let's keep it real. Because I was young, I remember being kicked out of class for disturbing the class. And in my head, I wasn't disturbing the class. The teacher was boring, and I figured out what I'm doing. Because realistically, teachers should be engaging. They shouldn't be boring. If you're boring, why are you a teacher? What the heck? Find a new job. You're getting paid to teach, and you suck so much I'm bored that I create disturbances because I'm bored? Yeah, that's the reality of a child's mind. But instead, I would have to sit down in the office and figure out a way to apologize for what I was doing. Yeah, I would be eloquent and figure out ways to eloquently explain to the teacher that what I was doing was wrong. And in my heart, I knew what I wasn't doing was wrong because, look, now I look back at school, I know it's BS. I know the majority of everything I was learning was to turn me into a good industrial worker. And we're way past the Industrial Revolution, so we know those curriculums were outdated, much less they were even created to further marginalize peoples like myself into positions of lesser power. Because what does any black person need to be doing industrializing themselves to be a worker? To be a corporate worker or any type of worker? We're supposed to be owning, ownership. So my brain was clearly a brain to want to think outside the box and do and be. But the teacher wanted me to just whatever. And if I didn't, it's sent to the office. So I apologize so I can get back in class, so I don't go home and get beatings or whatever the case may be, or I don't have to sit after school for detention, whatever the case may be. I understood like there's immediate consequences if I don't hash this out with that teacher. We got to become back allies. And that's the same thing Tory was doing. I got to hash things up with this girl, Kelsey, right now. Yeah, she's vexed at me because I slapped Meg, and she see me about to start talking to Kylie. Like, she must think I'm a piece of shit. Like, I was slapping her, then I'm about to slap, and I was slapping Meg, and then they see me, like, chopping Kylie. Yo, and then we argue about it, and then, like, I probably said things that cut deep. I probably made fun of her appearance. I probably made fun of this. I probably said all kinds of dirty, like, low-level things that got her out of pocket to want to grab a toolie. Because she's the one who went to the whip and grabbed the toolie. And you guys is ignoring this fact. Even the witness says it. Everyone said it. I heard this information prior to all of this. I'm not going to tell you guys how I heard it. But I heard the story. I heard this story before the story was fully, like, known to everybody. Okay, guys? And for you, and for folks who can understand why and how I could know the story, you understand I'm not lying when I say I knew the story before it went out. So when I'm seeing all these folk trying to twist off of facts that are pertinently facts, but they don't want those facts to be pertinent. They want us to wonder if it's really a fact. Did Kelsey really have the gun? Who shot who? Fam, he says she went to the car first. Everyone's saying in the situation she went and got the blick. Let's get to this Rihanna part. I'm dragging out this video.
Caller said it's because they was cheating. Ain't nobody thinking of that when they locked up. Ain't nobody gonna call bro and be like, I'm gonna be a sucker real quick. I'm gonna be a simp. Make sure she knows I'm sorry for cheating. Nah, bro. Nah.
I'm sorry for cheating. Yes, of course. Of course you need to be sorry for cheating. Why? Because you're gonna ask her to get you bail.
Okay, he felt like he was done. Like, hey, let me tell her I'm sorry. Didn't think about this for a second. Tory thought Meg was going to snitch. He didn't know she wasn't going to snitch yet.
Look at this part. Actually, I skipped over this Freudian slip. This guy's crashing out so bad and has no context of what he's saying that he just starts saying the wrong thing altogether. Because we're here talking about a phone call with Kelsey.
Ain't no real nigga thinking about no bride and her feelings at that time. Fuck cheating, nigga. I'm locked up. Y'all better come down here and say what the fuck really happened. You better tell it for real. That's what the call would have sounded like if that was the case. You guys gotta really think about this for a second. Tory thought Meg was going to snitch. He didn't know she wasn't going to.
See? You have to think about this for a second. Tory thought Meg was going to snitch. I thought we were just talking about Kelsey.
Snitch yet. He didn't have communication with her yet. He called Meg trying to get cool.
Okay. So in that first part, he's actually talking about Meg. But then he does the slip again. It says he calls Meg
Points in her sympathy and apologize. She wasn't going to snitch yet. He didn't have communication with her yet. He called Meg trying to get cool points in her sympathy and apologize. So she wouldn't tell on him. Read the fucking room.
Read the room, nigga. You can't even say the right stuff. This is a professional video. You're a professional YouTuber. You couldn't edit your rant or put like whatever. If you didn't want to edit your rant, you couldn't just like start the whole rant over again or something. Like, you really think it's okay to make that kind of mistake when you're trying to point your finger and say, yo, Tory is lying. Tory was apologizing to get brownie points so that Meg wouldn't snitch, but then you're messing up to say that he called Meg. He called Kelsey. And not to care about anything about snitching or nothing, because they were all on the same page. If you listen to the full phone call, you see Kelsey talking about, oh, yo, we're gonna da-da-da, they only know about this, but they don't know about that yet. They're having almost a business conversation about their brands and how, which blogs know this, and oh no, the report doesn't show Meg's name yet, it only shows this. And Tory saying, well, don't worry, I'll probably be the only one getting backlash when it does go out. You know what I mean? Like, da-da-da. Why? Because he's in jail and they're not. So he's like, once this goes out, it's going to be my name. I'm going to get the backlash. He foresaw all of this. He understood, okay, I'm the one in jail, they're not. Why would they really get backlash? But yes, we've been coming out of this era of seeing injustice on black men. But we ain't seen nothing like this. So of course, folks is coming out the woodworks trying to say, yo, Tory innocent. And that's not gonna help for Meg. That's not gonna help Meg's situation when it's like they were all there that night. Meg saying it's a piece of glass. Doctors are trying to say it's a bullet now. But Tory never was the one to shoot her, but he's the one in jail. So what are we going to do with the situation currently as the landscape has provided itself this way? The landscape's this way. He's the one in jail, probably because, you know, black men, we're just going to assume he's the bad guy or whatever. But he's actually not the bad guy. So what are we going to do? We're going to play it up. Kelsey, we need you to lie. Meg, we need you to lie. So immediately Meg switches her story. That's why all the fans, everyone's talking about Meg switching her story. Because originally she wasn't saying nothing. She was only saying a couple things. And then it started turning into woe is me. And then it started turning into you guys is playing with me, think it's okay to treat me like this, and then da-da-da. And then now let's get to the kicker of it being compared to Rihanna. And I slowed it down. We're not going double the speed, but 1.5.
Y'all can't be this dense. Where's your awareness at? Remember, this is before, way before Megan ever told the truth. She actually tried to lie and say it was glass. But Tory didn't know she was going to do that. Tory didn't know she was saying that. He was locked up. He was...
So he's saying that Tory didn't know that she was going to lie and say it was glass. Even though when he was in jail, my peoples, I'm not going to say that part.
She was going to tell on him. So he tried to get a hold of Meg through Kelsey. And this is all my take. All of it. This is all my take. This is not facts. This is me.
We appreciate you admitting that this is all bullshit.
Being aware of in the fucking street smart and shit. Just smart enough to state exactly what he was apologizing.
Now, I'm not going to lie. The leader makes a good point here. If Tory wasn't so worried and just trying to get out of jail before all this blows up and get out of jail before this becomes the tabloids, gets to the tabloids and whatever, and he was just thinking a bit more slower, he would have thought, okay, you know what? If I am gonna apologize for anything right now, let me explain anything I'm apologizing for. I agree. He messed up by giving a vague apology, where now all of us can assume that it's this or that it's that. It gives room for evil folk like y'all to say that he's apologizing for shooting Meg, which makes no goddamn sense. Even if he did shoot her, apologizing for shooting her doesn't make sense. Like, like, think about it. You shoot someone. Like, you have something in your hand, you aim it at someone to shoot them. You're gonna apologize? There's not such thing as, yo, I was drunk. That is, you have to understand, drunkenness unleashes your your inhibitions, right? So that means you always wanted to kill somebody. If you're doing it, like, I always wanted to kill you. I just was shy or whatever, held back from just wilding out to kill you. And yes, people die all the time on liquor, but it's because they get into arguments and then someone pull out the gun and shoot. It's not a Tory Lanez who sparks the argument. Because Tory Lanez sparked the argument. That's what you guys aren't getting. He pushed the buttons first because he was salty that he couldn't be Playboy on his Playboy wrist. He's trying to riz up Kylie and they're vexed at him. He knows he already smashed them. Do you think he's like, oh damn, I wonder why they're angry at me? Oh yeah, I had sex with all of them. No, he knows. He knows he's rizzing them. He knows he's Playboy rolling it down. You think he's on the fence of whether he's trying to be a Playboy? Tory's a Playboy. He knows that. So he's like, bye. I found the real prize. Kylie. And when Meg goes back in and drags him out, he's like, look, Meg. Look, Kelsey, you need to understand why Meg is acting like this. I slapped her too. Then Kelsey's like, what? Oh, now I get it. You think he's your man too. I'm getting salty because I'm thinking it's my man, but you're getting salty not on my behalf. You're getting salty because it's your man too. Oh, and you thought I was your best friend and we were best friends and I'm helping you get gigs and make money and we're and we're. Of course she's gonna get mad. We're not taking it because we don't really know her character. She's never been a celeb to us for us to understand how she moved. But fam, I've met some crazy women. I've met crazy men, but the craziest people I've met have been women in terms of doing things that are just irrational. So I keep saying we're gonna get to this Rihanna part, but like Deledy keeps saying dumb shit.
For on that phone record, he thought he was being smart to vaguely apologize without stating what exactly.
All right, I already explained it.
Or having sex with her friend.
All right,
ain't nobody thinking that this is that time like that without saying shot. You put the cuffs on yourself. So yeah, I know I'm crashing. Literally, her parents are dead. Rotted people. I'm sick of that shit. Not everything's a conspiracy. Megan has no family. Literally, her parents are dead.
So wait, he thinks that Meg won't do something evil because she lost her family. So he's thinking that she don't have her parents, so that means she can only be courted by abusers. That's basically what he's saying. He's like, yo, she's a victim in all the sense because she don't have her parents, so she's easy target for abusers. That's basically what he's saying. Listen.
When the snitch yet. He didn't have communication with her yet. He called Meg trying to get cool points in her sympathy and apologize. So she wouldn't tell on him.
Oh, sorry, I moved it back. I moved it back by accident.
In that jail cell, saying some dumb shit like that. I can't change your mind. You basically put the cuffs on yourself. What the fuck you saying sorry for? This girl in here shot, and you over here calling saying sorry for what exactly? Why would you say sorry? And you don't say why you saying sorry? Oh, you put the cuffs on yourself. So even what is it? Is he game goofy? Because that's a game goofy tactic. I mean, I guess a game goofy either way, huh? Megan has
that's why I said I disagree.
Her parents are dead. Abusers always go for people that don't have anybody, knowing there's not going to be consequence. Her parents are. I'm sick of that shit. Not everything's a conspiracy. Megan has no family. Literally, her parents are dead. Abusers always go for people that don't have anybody, knowing there's not going to be consequences.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I heard a preacher once say, If she's drunk, it's rape. Right? And if he's drunk, it's rape. If they're both drunk, they raped each other. I was like, what? What is this guy saying? Like, it's already crazy to be like, oh, if she has liquor, that's rape. That's crazy, right? But then to turn around and be like, if he has it in his system too, he was raped. And if they both have it, they're both raping each other. Interesting concept. But now that I think about it in this context, right? Tory doesn't have his mom. He lost his mom. And as someone who knows what it feels like to have a parent or family who's dedicated to ministry, Tory don't really have his dad either. Because his dad's devoted to God. And when you have a parent who's devoted to God, you don't have a regular parent. You have someone who put in God first and you wherever else that could fit. So not to say that Tory is in the exact same situation as Meg, but if we can say that about Meg, we could say that about Tory. We could say Tory doesn't have that nurturing energy from a mother to and she saw that, she knew that, and she's using him. We could use all kinds of statements and go back and forth and create narratives, because it's like, why was Meg so caught up to be hanging around Tory all the time if it's really Kelsey that he's slapping? If he's really slapping Kelsey, why is Meg always in the cut? Because clearly it was a mutual situation for everybody involved, including Rock Nation seeing Meg hang out with Tory all the time. They probably would have said, yo, cut that out, stop it. But he was Mr. Quarantine at the time. It was good press. It was good press.
The repercussions. Y'all just be talking and caping for the wrong motherfucker sometimes, and it's weird. I'm just gonna have to say.
But it's weird that you don't have the proof, you don't have the facts, and we actually have video. There's video. I watch when this video drops. It's gonna be hilarious when the video drops, because it's crazy that there's been video footage the whole time and it didn't come out in court. But it's also crazy that Tory didn't go up on stand. Just that a lawyer would advise him not to go up on stand when it's literally his testimony that is going to free him, when it's only her testimony against him. So yeah, it's he said, she said, but if he says nothing, then it's just she said. And that's clearly what it's become. So that like, Tory was stupid for that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he allowed himself to get finessed. I'm
calling it what it is. It's weird. Megan wouldn't say a peep for what happened for weeks until she was tired of Tory, with the help of academics and other blogs and streamers spreading.
You see where it's going? The leader has this consistent energy against academics and all the people who technically come from that side of hip-hop and entertainment industry. So academics rocks with Tory, rocks with Drake, rocks with this, that, certain people. Deleted is like trying to be all this whole like, yo, I'm repping with the real hip hop. I'm repping with the real culture of the hip hop.
The rumors that it was over. I mean, I would have got irritated by that. I mean, we could keep going and going with facts, not what ifs and baseless theories. Now,
but everything he said was what ifs and baseless theories.
I ain't caping for Megan. I'm not saying she did no wrong. She probably said a whole lot of shit to me.
Oh.
Tory, girl, over exaggerate. You guys are. See, where Tory fucked up, he believed he fooled the people. Like the people that are watching right now mad at my comment, or even the people that are mad reacting to this and saying that's not what happened, whatever. He thought he had everyone fooled like you guys, from all the backing he got. The same thing Drake thought
I appreciate Deleted knowing that he's trolling and trolling for rage bait. That he knows that he's going so far off where the actual mark of what actually happened can be narrated, that is gonna, make folks like myself want to react. So fair enough. You win, bro, because you're talking bullshit.
Did with the people too when it came to Kendrick Lamar. Now that's y'all fan bases in the woke mobs. That's you guys.
Look at him mentioning Kendrick Lamar. What the hell does this video fucking have to do with anything with Kendrick Lamar? And he has a picture of Drake up
are
too.
watching right now mad in my comment, or even the people that are mad reacting to this and saying that's not what happened, whatever. He thought he had everyone fooled like you guys, from all the backing he got. The same thing Drake thought he did with the people too, when it came to Kendrick Lamar. Now that's y'all fan bases, and in the woke mobs. That's you guys. All of us regular people with a brain can see right through the foolery and the bullshit. If anything, lock Kelsey's ass up too. What the fuck? And the limo driver. That's the part I don't get. How did they get out of it? They should have been
I'm not
locked
gonna
up
lie.
too. And
We
see where
agree.
they fucked up at. She's one of them females that try and cape for her dude after the abuse. Something like Rihanna did. Remember when Rihanna, right after the abuse with Chris Brown.
So this is where deleted gets deleted. This is where deleted gets deleted. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this new young generation of entertainers and individuals, you guys is just not smart. You guys is like just not smart. Like, we're in the age of internet. Like, we're not in the age of no internet. We're in the age where everything can be fact checked, everything can be searched, and your stupid POVs will exist to show us how hungry you are and thirsty you are for views, money, and fame, that you're willing to spout bullshit and compromise your entire platform for the 1, 2, 3 individuals every day who will see this content and realize that you're a lying piece of shit. Because everyone knows that Rihanna was fighting Chris Brown first. That Rihanna was punching and kicking and all this shit at the man while he was still driving. He pulled over and she kept going. Yeah, he turned up. Yeah, he was out of pocket. Went to the degrees I would never go. Even as a young me, as a boy me, you can ask my friends. In elementary school, I fought the girls. Okay? We fought. I fought the boys, I fought the girls, I fought everyone. Obviously, when you get older, get in trouble, you realize that's not right. So by grade 3, my grade 2, was it grade 3 or grade 4? Trying to remember the situation I got in trouble. And you realize, you know what? It's not that I'm fighting the girls. I like these girls, but I don't know how to engage. Right? That was happening. I was like always chilling with the girls and they're playing games. It's almost like I want to play the games with them. But it's not that I needed to play the games with them. I was trying to holler at them. I just didn't understand that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to holler at these girls and talk to them and be around them and just vibe with them. But I didn't know how to introduce that. I didn't know that I could come there and say, hey girls, you guys want to see a card trick? And just take out a bunch of cards and just do something random stupid and could have got the similar effect. Instead I would come and say, oh, you guys picking flowers? Step in the flowers, or treat me dumb shit. Like, clearly as a young boy, it's immaturity. But I would never do anything to like violent like that with these girls, even as a boy. So Chris Brown defending himself against Rihanna to the extent that he's biting her and all this stuff, bro, come out the car. Just walk out the car, fam. Come on, walk out the car. Like, walk out the car. Yeah, she threw your keys. Yeah, all this stuff. Yeah, woo. But walk out the car. He let his anger get the best of it. But to think that that wasn't a fight, if it wasn't a situation of, we already know all women are going to be weaker than most men. Like, most women are physically weaker than most men. So it's not for you to ever physically attack and beat on women, But we're starting to come to this age now, right? Where we're seeing women can beat up certain guys. I've seen videos of women beating guys' ass and that guy knocked out cold. There's videos of it. A woman can have a gun and just blops you. Gun eliminates equal bullets, kill anyone. So when it's coming to the idea of a man needing to protect himself, it's not just from other men anymore. If a woman wants to do something evil to you, you're going to have to figure out how you protect yourself. And it's not through having a big sister or a little sister who can fight in your stead against her. No, you're going to have to figure out protecting yourself in some way, shape, or the other. That's the age we're getting into. Because we're not rescinding back to traditionalism where we completely host women to the pedestal of their objectivity. No, women still want to hold the agent card and say, no, we have full agency like men, but want to only be treated in hindsight as objects. In hindsight, we only say, well, I was objectified. I had zero agency. But for futuristic perspectives of how women should behave, it's no, she has as much agency and will in every scenario, in every situation as any man. And I never see men in a situation where they aren't able to express agency, given that same blight to say, oh, he was objectified. There was a limit to his agency in that situation, things that he could do based on limited brain power or whatever reasons we're gonna say. But we're gonna say, oh, her femininity or whatever. We never say her limited brain power. She ain't smart enough to think of another way or think of something else to do. So she did the dumb shit and got the dumb responses. We don't ever say that for women. But women be making dumb decisions, bruh. Rihanna made a dumb decision to get angry because I guess she got syphilis or whatever, caught syphilis from Chris Brown or whatever the situation was. Chris Brown caught it from sleeping with his manager, right? So it's like, oh, you gave me an STD or STI or whatever, right? That's a rumor. I don't know if that's facts, because I don't know their crotches like that. But apparently that was the beef, okay? So he's just saying straightforward abuse. Delete it. You delete it. You're not about nuanced conversations. Like, everybody just wants to be extremists for nuanced situations. That's crazy. Like, that kind of ignorance is not safe. That's not a way to move in life, where there's nuances that could, in a sense, it's like, yo, this is this side and that's that side. And it's like you could almost can't even tell which one is more to this side, more to that side, because they're like right here, so nuanced. But more times you're trying to assess it like this, like there's gap in the middle. While this is really the situation like this, and you could actually stand on it because it's so close. And you start realizing situations that we see in the media are more like that, and not like the strong abyss, where it's like, how could this person on this side really be on this side when this person's really on that side? No, maybe it was really like this. And they were both, on the fence of evil and good and not knowing where to stop or where to go. And the other person is doing toxicity too. And you're playing back in your toxicity, but you're doing it. You know what I mean? That's what's normally happening. Rihanna's being toxic and saying toxic things to Chris saying toxic things back to them, and then boom, a Kairos moment where this happens. But to act like this is one-sided and it's a man-sided, a black man-sided, delete it, man. Go fuck yourself, bro.
He was seen a week later on jet skis, and I mean right after.
Because the fact that the reason why you have to say go fuck yourself is the earlier point where you really think that, like, oh, abusers, like a woman who has no family or whatever is just prone to be abused and is just objectified towards abusing. That's the point that I was gonna say earlier and I forgot. You think that just because she a chick, just on average, oh, she's sticking with her abuser, or she got abused, she's staying with him. So it doesn't matter what we see. She's with that man, he probably could be abusing her because she's with him, and women don't leave their abusers. So how are we gonna differentiate from women staying with an abuser versus women staying in a healthy relationship or women staying with a loving man? Because when we see the abuser buy the gifts, you think, oh, see, that's how he wins her back. He buys her gifts and then she stays with him, or he has to pay for the bills, or what, right? So when we see a loving husband pay for the bills, how are we gonna know that he wasn't actually an abuser? See, you guys just like conflating and distorting reality to the point where you can't actually tell reality in real life anymore, because folks who's doing good is gonna look just like folks doing bad, because it was really a nuanced situation and you're assessing it like it's fucking extreme. I don't get it, man.
I'm not talking about when they got back together a few years down the line. I'm talking about after the abuse, they were together on a trip. I believe it was at Diddy's mansion or something like that. And they were seen on jet skis a week later. That's just what women do when they...
See? That's just what women do. He can't make the clear assessment that, yo, Rihanna's kind of toxic herself. So maybe that's what toxic women do. And toxic men, like, they don't feel no ways about the evil shit they're doing. They're down to be so quick back on the good vibe. They don't mind. But to try and make it like this is women, oh, victim. Bruh, this is not that. This is Ike and Tina. More so, not Ike and Tina, like Whitney and Bobby Brown. Because Ike and Tina, Tina probably was a victim, but Whitney and Bobby Brown, Whitney introduced cocaine to Bobby. Whitney introduced that high life, like, thug life, like not really thug life, cause Bobby Brown on his thizzle, thug nizzle, but like Whitney was not no joke. She'll slap a bitch. Don't get it twisted. Just because she's prim and proper when she does her singing of the national anthem. But she's every woman. It's all in her. She will knock a nigga out. Okay? So we keep having this energy like, yo, we see the evil of the caucus. But for some reason, the black people who happen to be around them are super righteous. Enough that we can accept them being self-righteous. Are you guys fucking stupid? Can we stop this? Can we stop looking at United Stations and thinking that they're self-righteous? Just off of the energy that they're speaking English in a tone that we're used to because media propagated all their programs into our networks. All the Canadian stations, Jamaican stations, whatever stations around the world being blasted with BT, being blasted with all this. So you grow up as a kid just looking up to these individuals who speak in a certain vernacular, and then you start realizing those real individuals in life have that kind of vernacular. Okay, let's be enthralled with everything. So you could be a nobody, just a random nobody, and take out your phone and know that you're speaking in the United States vernacular. So you're essentially television already to any person who doesn't have that vernacular, even to the people within the populace. That's why they're so self-entertained. You in the United States, America, yeah, they could be so self-entertained with themselves because they're self-propagated about themselves for eons. Come on, like Hitler thanks the United States for propaganda. He's like, yo, thank you. I use y'all's techniques over here. We don't call it propaganda anymore. We call it marketing. Everybody's taught and knows propaganda techniques that were like high level CIA government used techniques as just their way to promote their business. Just ways of promoting their brands and businesses. We're using psychoanalysis, deep ways of logging things into the mind, repetition and imagery, this and all these things that were understood through the military complex first to just sell and create money for capitalistic sake. Yes, this is America. And you're gonna think that the black folk closest, who in terms of wealth as well, class as well, are gonna be the righteous folk, are gonna be the ones that we should run behind anytime they say, yo, this person's wrong, that person's wrong. I don't believe deleted. He not coming from that energy. There ain't no righteous, self-righteous, like, no. As soon as you have that, yo, bro, yeah, we coming from that, yeah. I already know. In the back of your mind, you have that American dream. And for that American dream, United Stations, black United Stations will kill each other. For that American dream, United Stations will backbite each other. They will sell each other down any road. Up Ship's Creek or wherever creek. So I'm not surprised. And for him to, once there's a documentary, but he's still gonna inaccurately assess the Chris Brown Rihanna situation. Why? Because I feel he's getting a check, man. This guy must be getting a check from Rock Nation. It makes no sense. You're gonna hone down on the point of Tory not going on the stand, which has to do with Rock Nation, right? Because that's the lawyer. You're gonna hone in on these specific points, and then when it comes time to compare it to Rihanna, you're gonna purposely omit truths that we know to be true now in 2025. This is not back when it happened, back when, what was it? Rihanna, whatever, who cares? I don't have to be factual about when it actually happened, but it's not back when it happened. This is not back when Chris was on CNN saying, yo guys, yo man, I'm sorry y'all. Back then, yeah, we could have said that because we didn't have all the facts. But how are you gonna say that in big 2025? Deleted, you're compromised. Deleted, you're deleted.